Our lesson today is on the Apostle Saint Bartholomew. And to eliminate the confusion, Nathanael was renamed or called Bartholomew by Christ, in the same manner that Simon was renamed Peter. Nathanael is named or mentioned only in the Gospel of John. In all of the synoptic Gospels, Philip and Bartholomew are always mentioned together, while Nathanael is never mentioned. In John's Gospel, on the other hand, Philip and Nathanael are similarly mentioned together this one time. After the Ascension, Bartholomew went on a missionary tour to India, where he left behind a copy of the Gospel of Matthew. Other traditions record him as serving as a missionary in Ethiopia, Mesopotamia, Parthia, Laconia. Popular traditions and legends say that Bartholomew preached the gospel in India and in Greater Armenia. There are many true stories or true traditions that have him both in India and Armenia. He was, along with fellow apostle Jude Thaddeus, in Armenia. Bartholomew is reputed to have brought Christianity to Armenia in the 1st century with Jude Thaddeus. Thus, both saints are considered to be the patron saints of the Armenian Apostolic Church. One tradition has it that the apostle Bartholomew was executed in Apollonius, Armenia. According to popular hagiography, the apostle was flayed alive and beheaded. According to other accounts, he was crucified upside down, head downward, like St. Peter. He is said to have been martyred for having converted Ptolemaeus, the king of Armenia, to Christianity. Enraged by the monarch's conversion and fearing a Roman backlash, King Ptolemaeus' brother, Prince Astyages, ordered Bartholomew's torture and execution, which Bartholomew endured. However, there are no records of any Armenian king of the Astyages dynasty of Armenia with the name Ptolemaeus. But current scholarship indicates that Bartholomew more likely died in Kalyan, India, where there was an official name Ptolemaeus. There are many miracles, however, claimed to be performed by Bartholomew before and after his death. Two very popular ones are known by the townfolk of the small Italian island of Lipari, where his cathedral is. The people of Lipari celebrate his feast day annually. The tradition of the people was to take the solid silver and gold statue from inside the cathedral of St. Bartholomew and carry it throughout the town. On one occasion, while taking the statue down the hill towards the town, it suddenly became very heavy and they had to be set down. When the men carrying the statue regained their strength, they lifted it up a second time. After a few seconds, it got heavier again. They set it down and attempted once again to pick it up. They managed to lift it up, but had to put it down one last time. Within seconds, walls further downhill collapsed. If the statue had been able to be lifted, all the townspeople would have been killed. The second miracle. During World War II, the fascist regime looked for ways to finance their activities. The order was given to take the silver statue of St. Bartholomew and melt it down. The statue was weighed, and it was found to be only a few grams. It was returned to its place in the Cathedral of Lipari. In reality, the statue is made from many kilograms of silver, and it is considered a miracle that it was not melted down and that suddenly it was found to be weighed and only 1/100th of its weight. St. Bartholomew is credited with many other miracles having to do with the weight of objects. Christian tradition has 3 stories about St. Bartholomew's death. One speaks of his being kidnapped, beaten unconscious, and cast into the sea to drown. Another account states that he was crucified upside down, and the third says that he was skinned alive and beheaded in Elbak or Albanius, near Baskal, Turkey. The most prominent is that he was flayed as a Christian martyr. Many of the images of St. Bartholomew in art have the image of his being flayed alive. It's become so significant in works of art that when you see St. Bartholomew represented in art, he is always being skinned alive, and the symbols associated with the saint include knives and his skin being carried by him as he drapes it about him. Due to the nature of his martyrdom, Bartholomew is the patron saint of tanners, plasterers, tailors, leather workers, bookbinders, farmers, house painters, butchers, and glove makers. And finally today, we add our thanks to Army Sergeants Luis de Leon Figueroa of Chicopee, Massachusetts, and Jose Gonzalez of La Puente, California. Both finished their service for this country and for the Lord Jesus Christ on 21 August 2019 in Afghanistan. We raise our voices from around the world and add our prayers to those being raised on behalf of all soldiers and military families everywhere. We know, Lord, you will heal these broken and sorrow, and you will help these spirits with your love. And in the same way that you helped to get the broken spirits on earth the help they needed. Bless these families, Lord, of Master Sergeants Luis de Leon Figueroa and Jose Gonzalez, to heal. And bless these 2 men for their great service. As you bless all soldiers, both in the field and at home. Amen.